Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakdown Podcast YouTube channel. My name's Corey, and with me today, once again, to break down the Masked Singer.
All hail the king. I am here. What's going on, everybody?
We are at the Group A finals.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be between Skunk.
Yes, sir.
And Bull.
Yes, sir.
But before we get into that, we do want to let you know we do our show live every Tuesday. It's at 7 p.m.-ish. Eastern on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/MillerKing_51. Just head on over there. Hang out if we're not online yet. We'll be there. And you can join the chat. And currently we are talking about on the show is the new Hawkeye show on Disney+. So come by, hang out, and enjoy the chat.
And boy, is it good. It is good.
Oh, yes. It's good. It's good, regardless of what people say. I don't know what people are saying. So, with that, we do want to let you know also, if you can't join us, you can also listen to the show. It's on Apple Podcasts as well as on Spotify. So please search the Breakdown Podcast and check out and subscribe to the show. And we'd appreciate it. We'd enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. So, Vic, without further ado.
Yes, sir.
Let's break this down.
All right, sir. We have the Group A finals. It is down to, as you said, Skunk and Bull. And I am telling you, they brought it this week. Like, both of them were all out trying as hard as they can, but only one can make it. And I was pretty sure I knew from the start of this episode which one it was going to be. Bull was the first one up. He did a clue package this week that had him coming out of a closet into a Narnia-esque environment. There was a race, a checkered flag. There was a wizard on a chair that turned him into a block of ice that he broke out of, and he talks about how it took him a long time to come to terms with himself, and once he did, and he started performing as himself as opposed to what everyone else expected of him, his fame and his stardom skyrocketed. And I will tell you right now, this is a person that I have been following for a long time, because one of the first things I ever saw was that he does parodies of Disney-like princess and different things. And it was hilarious. It was a Beauty and Beast parody of him doing a song with that. And it was great. And ever since I saw that, I always thought it was hilarious. So I followed this guy's career. And I'm telling you, every single clue leads to this being Todrick Hall. And I lock this in. I believe in this pick, and I am still sticking with it. There's nothing you can say that changes it. And this week's clues, the extra clues, the ones that I know have led you in another direction, have led you astray, my friend, also work for Todrick Hall.
And those clues that he's talking about now, I didn't have this locked in until this episode.
Absolutely.
I really had no clue. I'm trying to look.
You were riding strong on the Cisco thing. You just never locked it in.
No, I wasn't sold on that.
I could tell. I could tell, yeah. But you were sticking with it week after week, and it wasn't a horrible guess either, because the performance, the lyrics, the singing, the acrobatics are very Cisco-esque. But there was just that one little thing that wasn't hitting. But
yeah, I never believed in it.
Sure.
Never had any other ideas of who until, as you said, there's a couple of things to somebody. I did lock this in as soon as I saw the clues, and hopefully I'm right and Vic is wrong.
We'll see.
But with the, I didn't really have any ideas during the song. It wasn't until afterwards that Matt Morrison from Glee showed up and did his little video.
And Matt Morrison was the teacher in Glee.
He was the teacher on Glee. Mentioned Glee.
Mm-hmm.
And
Red herring.
Like, yeah, it most likely is. It most likely is. I'm not going to deny that.
Sure.
But being as how in previous seasons I've guessed this person. And it has been mentioned in previous seasons at least. I'm not sure about this season.
Sure.
By the judges. But I'm locking in Darren Chris.
Okay. Darren Chris, also another cast member from Glee.
Yes, he was. He was on Glee. That's the only thing I know him from. I looked at his IMDb, and he's done voiceover work for DC animation.
Sure.
So he's like in some of this. I think I want to say one of the Superman animated shows, maybe a couple of them. But he also did a voice on Rick and Morty, and this week's episode, this particular one, the little animated mask.
Oh, I can't stand that thing. Let's pause for a second. That thing smacks and smells of, hey, we want to make something that reminds people of Loki. Every time I see it, I'm like, get rid of that thing. I don't like it at all. Obviously, my opinion doesn't count for, a hill of beans in this crazy world, but it's just, I don't know.
It's really bad. But this week's episode, they had a clue, and they said, "Here's your clue," and then that was the end of it. And I'm not even joking. I had to rewind it and say, "What was the clue?"
Right. It was her going into the portal,
and the only thing was this purple splotch,
right?
Animated splotch over on the right hand side, and I'm like, "Was that it?
Yeah.
Was that the clue?"
That was the clue.
So in looking at Darren Chris's IMDb, he did do a voice on Rick and Morty. I haven't seen the latest season of it. I'm not sure if I'm caught up otherwise, but I'm guessing that could be a reference to Rick and Morty.
Okay.
But I don't know how that fits Todrick Hall.
So the saving grace for you is that I can't think of anything really that makes that fit with Todrick Hall. So you get the +1 on that for your guess, because I can't think of or find anything that ties Todrick Hall to Rick and Morty. But like I said, it may be that that's not like a portal so much as something else. Like we don't know what it is. Like it's so undescript as to what it is. Mm-hmm. It's hard to understand. Like it could be like, she got transported to another world, and in that respect, Todrick Hall creates these massively fantastical worlds in his work. So it could be that. I don't know. Like I'm ignoring that one. From my side of things, though,
because it doesn't fit your narrative.
It doesn't fit my narrative. That's exactly it. But from my side of things, the Morrison clue, where it talks about, he's like, oh yeah, you're a great performer, your lyrics are great, blah blah blah. Todrick Hall is attached to him as well, because the two of them were judges on a BBC show where they basically take kids and they teach them how to sing and dance and perform. So, I think it was like the world's greatest dancer or something like that. But they were both judges on that together. So they do fit together in that respect. And Todrick Hall made a hard push to try to get onto Glee, but then Glee canceled before he went big time, like on social media and on YouTube and that kind of thing. And he started performing, because right now he does like a traveling road show and he does Broadway and all that stuff. So before he hit that mark, he was trying to get onto Glee. There are major ties to him to Glee, as well as Matthew Morrison too. So,
well, this is going to be a tough one. We'll see what happens.
I think this is going to be the hardest, the most contentious one of all of them. So, but I think he's going to make it. I feel like he's going to make it to the finals for sure.
Yeah, well, the other two, who he's going to have to go up against is Banana Split and Queen of Hearts. So it's going to be an interesting one. Now,
way to kill the freaking surprise as to who won this episode. You didn't even realize you did it.
No.
You just did it. You just said he's going up against these two people in the finals, which means Skunk didn't make it.
No, I said he could
Skunk didn't make it.
He could be going up against either way. I'm about to say it right now. Skunk was our other opponent, or was our other combatant, if you will, on this episode. Now this is one
combatant.
Yeah. Now this is one that you had
locked in minute one. Yes, sir.
It took me probably a week or two to finally.
Oh no! It took you up until week 6 to come around.
That long?
Yes, I just listened to all of them yesterday. It took you till week 6 to jump on board.
Okay, well, it took me that long. We both locked in Faith Evans. Mm-hmm. There were so many clues that pointed towards her. Initially, I had guessed Mary J., which was guessed by one of the judges on the final episode.
And again,
this episode.
wasn't a bad guess because everything that ties Mary J. to the clues, everything that ties Faith Evans to the clues can also loosely tie Mary J. Blige to the clues as well.
Yeah, so, because she was in that same scene.
Yeah, yep, she was in the same circles.
And so, but it wasn't until we started getting clues that are pointing directly at Biggie, that it made it painfully obvious that that's who it was.
But they made that clue right from the start. That's why I'm surprised you waited so long, because right at the top they started talking about things that pointed right at Biggie, but you were looking at those as the red herrings.
Yeah, a little bit, and again, Mary J. was in that same circle, so it could have been Biggie too.
Yeah.
I was still going on with that, and plus it's fun to not, to have different ideas instead of, So,
but I mean, when you hear Busta Rhymes, you hear Busta Rhymes. Like there's nothing you can do about that.
No, not at all. You hear Busta Rhymes come out, you're not going, oh wait, that may be Cheech.
Right.
She ended up. I'm surprised by this. I totally thought that she was going to take this one. She was absolutely amazing on this episode, and has been in every episode as well. I didn't think Bull had it to win in this one.
But you know where she fell down? So Bull's performance, and we've seen this season after season. If you get a performer, even if their song doesn't hit, but they get the crowd going, they can win, because there have been many and many of rapper that stayed in this thing way longer than they should have, based off of just the crowd hype alone. Because when it does come down to it,
you don't even have to go to rapper. All you have to do is look at Gronkowski.
That's true too. But once you get that crowd hyped about a song, like that episode is locked in if you can out hype the other singer. And I think that in this episode, like though the song was very well done, I think it was a poor choice for him. But right from the start, he comes out, he's doing like the spray paint thing, and he does the falling backwards, the truss fall off of the truss, which is interesting, off the scaffolding. And then he gets down and then he starts doing the dancing thing. And that's really what does it. Like he is a triple threat. Like he entertained all the way around. Like he gave a full performance where Evans Faith she did what she does, and she did it very, very well. But I think what really killed it was the duets. That's the thing that pushed him over the edge, because hers with Michael Bolton was not as good or as tight as his was with Hunter. So
I have this idea that if I ever get on this show, I'm just going to do songs that involve the crowd and cruise right onto the finals.
Yeah, exactly. Not Hunter. I messed that up. It was who was the guy that was Turtle? Jesse McCarthy. McCarthy. Whatever his name is. Anyway, that brings me to another clue that locks this in for Todrick Hall, because Todrick Hall did a cover of it was Jesse Hunter's, one of Jesse Hunter's song, like Invisible, that's what it was. He did a cover of this song that went viral on YouTube, and then he performs it in a lot of his shows that he does. And that's Astronaut. He was Astronaut last season, remember? And they, at the beginning of
who is this?
Hunter, something Hunter something. He was the astronaut last season. Remember the astronaut that made it all the way to the end? He was the astronaut. And at the beginning of the clue package for Bull, they showed the astronaut in his clue package, which means there's a connection to that singer with the person underneath the mask. And that was I was like, dude, I got one that you can't dispute. That's the connector to make sure that tells you that this is Todrick Hall.
Actually, he played an astronaut in a low budget movie.
Who did?
What's his name?
Chris?
Darren Chris. Yeah.
No, don't believe it. That's not it. That's not the connector. My connector's stronger. Let's put it this way. My connection is stronger than your connection.
I'm just kidding. He didn't
but
really.
Yeah, like as soon as I came across that, I was like, locked. Still, I got it. This one's mine. I'm telling you. But I am impressed with your guess though, because there are a number of strings that meet on a number of things, including this week's clue package. So we'll see where it heads. But yeah.
It was just one of those things that just came to me all of a sudden. I'm like, Darren Chris. There we go. and I try and sit with the first idea that comes to me, unless it's really bad.
Right.
I try and stick with it, because usually it's like, I don't know, maybe that's right. I'm gonna stick with my hunch.
Oh, I also forgot to tell you. I also, as I was doing my research on Todrick Hall and connections to everybody and everything in this, I didn't realize that he did an entire song with Nicole Schlesinger called Poppy. And the pillow thing, he shot her the pillow and said that he has a connection to Nicole Schlesinger. So that would also put it towards Todrick Hall as well.
All right. Well, we'll see. It's going to happen in 2 weeks, because next week we have the finals for Group B. Again, it's going to be the Queen of Hearts as well as Banana Split. We already have our thoughts on those. We already have our locked-in picks, I think.
Yes, I am calling next week's winner to be Queen of Hearts. So it's going to, I think the finale is going to be Queen of Hearts versus Bull, and I think Bull's going to win it.
I think it's going to be Queen of Hearts winning next week as well, but I think she'll end up winning in the end. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Absolutely.
With that, we are going to end this video, and we do thank you for watching. Please check out the show on Tuesdays at Twitch and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So, on behalf of Vic,
that's me.
I'm Corey. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.
See ya!